Hi and welcome to the Naked Punt Sports Show, the sports show that's here for you, the true punter. I'm Brett Maxworthy, and I'm joined tonight by social media, man about town, and Sharks blue blood, Don Rogers. How are you, Don?
Yeah, g'day, Brett. It's good to be here in Big Dog Studio for another episode of The Naked Punt.
And what took your fancy this weekend?
In regards to the weekend, I had a great weekend. I didn't get to watch as much football as I would have liked. I've got two little babies under 2 and their behaviour sometimes isn't conducive to watching football matches. But I did get to see a little bit. I'm impressed with the Parramatta 2-0.
Well done.
Yeah.
And on my left, filling in admirably for Aaron Raper while he's away on assignment, is a chef. And I think he'd put the kitchen rules to shame. It's young Luke at St George Tragic. How are you, Luke?
Thank you very much, boys. Thanks. Welcome. And the highlight of my week was the Dragons' first half, and that's probably about it.
I see. Now, Donnie, you've got some fan engagement information.
Yeah, I do. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to our 1,000 plus followers and supporters online. You guys are unreal and we really appreciate it. So apologies as well for last week's technical difficulties. And even with that challenge, you guys have helped us to get over 1,000 likes and followers in just a short period of time. So we're very thankful for that. And along those lines, the first order of business tonight, there's a like and a share button down there. Make sure you hit that. And in addition, go to your invite friends button and invite them along because it'll help us to continue to grow the Naked Punt family. In addition to tonight's broadcast, you can also see the replay on the website from tomorrow. That'll be up. And it's also now available on podcast on iTunes and Spotify. So it's great to have your support. We appreciate it. Keep up the great work, punters.
You can get us everywhere.
We are everywhere.
Now, Luke, you've got a hot topic, something interesting which you brought up. Share it with us.
It's about shit haircuts, actually. We've got some shockers down there at the moment. There were some bad ones back in the day. Jack DeBellin probably started off with the man bun. Into Gareth Widdop, talking about the Dragons here. Gareth Widdop last year, but we've got some new ones this year. And we're calling on the Sharks here. That's...
I think you've got some, Donnie.
It's actually funny that Luke mentioned the shit haircuts for the year. And it's funny because I actually had on my notes, where was it today? It was about Dugan and Fafita. I love you boys, but what's doing with the mullets? They're bringing it back. I'll tell you a funny story about haircuts. When my brother was at the Wallabies, and they call it, Matt's nickname is the Rat. And I said to him, mate, why don't you bring back the rat's tail? You know, they call you rat's tail. And then sure enough, about 6 months later, someone else was doing it, so he missed the boat. Rat, you too could have had a shit haircut.
I'm just jealous I got hair to be able to make a hairdo. Now, Donnie, what's the latest news, mate?
Mate, latest news out there is a couple of things. Firstly is we're not just all about rugby league here. We're about having fun and spreading the word of other sports as well. And you want to talk about a misspent youth, we need to get behind. You'll see it on Fox 505 this week. Justin Sakic, who's playing in the World Pool Championships in Gibraltar. Now, you talk about a misspent youth.
Say that again, Donnie. The World
Pool Championships in Gibraltar. And the only place I ever played pool was in the old smoky pool halls in the pub. So, mate, he's done well and he's competing over there. And there's a little screen of it up there now against Petri Makinen. So, go well, Justin. Bring home the gold for Australia, son. Go you good there. In addition to that, I also wanted to chat about, we've got some big supporters. My brother has a charity called 4ASD Kids, and I want to send a big shout out to Joe Inglis and a few of the boys at the Utah Jazz. They're playing the Lakers this week, and you'll see Joe Inglis wearing some specially branded 4ASD Kids shoes, so you can auction online after the game, and that's a massive coup for the charity, and great to have Joe Inglis' support. So keep up that great work.
Look, gentlemen, let's go briefly through the last weekend's games. We've got the Storm and the Raiders. What were your thoughts, Donnie?
Yeah, my thoughts was I really let myself down in the tipping department in that game. I tipped the Raiders. I just thought they'd go well at home, and the Storm are so clinical early in the piece. And I was speaking to my brother about that, and he said, mate, the Storm are really going to only drop 4 or 5 games a year. So the tip is pick them every round because you don't know what they're going to lose.
Well, 22-10 to Storm. I did tip Storm, so I was happy with that.
Look, the Storm, mate, they're on a roll. They just keep moving along and without any dramas. And the Raiders, look, they lack something at the moment. And even with Ricky Stewart coming down with the rain on his head, didn't help them at all, did it?
No.
The Rabbits and St George.
Rabbits and St George, mate, Like Luke preluded to earlier, I think Saints have been starting strong the first 2 games of the year, and if they can continue that into the second half, they're going to be a 4. So I wouldn't be hitting panic buttons yet if I was a Dragons fan, Luke. I'd be patient, but mate, there's 2 words that sum up that game, and that's Sam Burgess. Wow, what a dominant performance, couple of tries. Shit attempt at a kick, but other than that, he played really well.
That's it. And what about?
Well, 34-18. We started off all right, but well done to South. Take the whip and then came out over top of us.
South were just big and strong and well coached, and
I did tip them also.
Did you? And St George, look, they're just they're missing their big men, and their spine is weak. The Broncos and the Cowboys.
Broncos and the Cowboys, for me, that was the dominant performance by Tamani Pengai Jr. Just to come out and pretty much he had Jason Tuimalolo in his crosshairs all night. And I think Jason's pulled up a little bit injured from that game, but really dominant performance, and it was a good game.
Broncos 29-10 Cowboys. Broncos too strong. I did tip.
Yeah, Broncos sharp, and I concur with you with that young bloke, Tafita. He looks sensational. The Sharks and the Titans.
Sharks and the Titans. Well, great to have our first win at home for Cronulla Sharks. Bomber Morris would be pleased with that. And the big thing on the weekend, I think, was overshadowed by the humility of this guy who put all the attention onto Chad Townsend's 100th game. Congratulations on that to Chad. Was Paul Gallen. He played his 329th game for the Cronulla Sharks.
Well done, mate, legend.
Broke Andrew Eddinghausen's record of 328. And, he just keeps on keeping on. So congrats to Gal, and, what a career he's had so far. Origin, Premiership, he's done it all. And I hope he has a fantastic year in his farewell season.
Yes, 20-6. Sharkies got up. Good luck to the Sharks as much as I hate them. But, I did tip them. So, yeah.
We had a good first half, and that young Sion Cadio's 3 tries, that was a bit of a highlight for me.
Yeah.
And the Knights and the Panthers.
Knights and the Panthers, well, James Maloney's defence, that's a surprise for a start. I mean, 2 of the, he put that massive shot on in the middle, and that try saver was something special. That was a 1 in a million try, but... Mate, that's one of the games I didn't get to see because I was busy with family, but I watched the highlights, and they were the 2 things that stuck out to me, and
good stuff.
Yeah, 16-14 to the Panthers. I tipped the Panthers. Pretty happy with that all-star.
Look, I think the father...
Going all right.
He's going
all right.
The father and son rolled on. That was my tip for the weekend. I thought they were a must to win.
I just want to send a quick shout. We've got a few people join the conversation. We've got Trevor Reed. Ashley Williams just corrected me with 328 games. Ash, thank you for that. It wasn't 329. Darren Rogers, our cousins on the line. Donald Draper up there in the Northern Territory. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you leave us a comment, guys. Let us know where you are and what you're doing.
More the merrier.
Leave us a comment.
Roosters and Eagles.
The Battle of the Birds. That's another one I didn't get to see because I've got 2 babies under 2. As I mentioned, their behaviour isn't conducive.
They're giving you some grief, son.
They were this week. There was something in the water. But then again, they are my children, so, it's going to pose a few challenges as we go on.
Did you get a chance?
I did not. The cooking life just took over. 26-18. Chookies, forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, look, it was shocking conditions, and at the end of the day, the Roosters won without Cronk and friends. So, mate, that just tells you how good the Roosters are going. Eels and Bulldogs.
Eels and Bulldogs. Well, I mentioned that earlier. The Eels 2-2, 2 from 2. Who would have thought? I mean, they had a bit of tumultuous off-season and a whole new nucleus of a side that's come together. I just. It's good to see them doing well because it's rugby league heartland out there in Parramatta. They love it, so it's good for the game.
36-16, Eels, Blake Ferguson, stepping up, and everyone's respecting him now. He's come to form. It's good to see.
The Eels won and the Bulldogs are on life support in that one. Tigers versus the Warriors, the last game of the round, which cost me a perfect date.
Did it?
Oh, yes.
You lifted your game in the tipping department. We're going to bring you some guys a bit of results from the tipping later. What was the score in that one, Luke? Can you remind me, please?
34-6. That was my one boo-boo for the week.
For the Tigers, yeah. Wow, it's great to see the old combination of Farah and Benji coming back together in the Tigers colours. I think that as well is really good for the game too. So way to go, Robbie Farah. Go, you good thing.
Bringing back some old school. Yeah, good to see.
Yeah, they're my surprise packet. Yep, the old Tigers. So, look, there's plenty to talk about.
Carl Lovell, Cronulla legend, has just joined the conversation as well. Shout out to you, Carl. Hit like and share. Make sure you guys invite your mates. Help us to get to 2,000.
We might go to an ad break. We'll be back shortly.
G'day, I'm Matt. Welcome to the Naked Punt. I'm a massive fan of working hard and reaping the benefits. Favourite all-time athlete? It's a bit of a tough one, that, but Tommy Carroll as a kid was a hero of mine, and Brett Kenny. What annoys me most is people who complain. Just gets under my skin so much. If I won the lotto, I would probably have a holiday, get a house on the beach, and keep doing what I'm doing. See you next time.
2, 1.
Welcome back, and we'd like to thank Matt. Matt, it's great that your brother's joining us.
Yeah,
Johnny, isn't it?
Mate, he's becoming quite a regular on the Naked Punt, so shout out to you, Rat. Thanks for taking the time to do the Naked 4 for us. That's 4 hard-hitting questions that are going to enable us to get to know our viewers a bit better. So if you see any of us in the street and we come up to you with the phone...
What do you want them to do to us?
We just want don't have to do anything, just get involved, have a bit of fun. That's what it's all about.
Look, we were going to have a special guest, Jackie Elliott, this evening. Unfortunately, she called up late because she's been sick. And look, later on down the track, we look forward to having her on board. But in the meantime, one of our topics that we will be talking about tonight is cheer girls and are they relevant? And relocation. So what are your thoughts, Donnie, on cheer girls?
Oh, the cheerleaders, I think they're both male and female these days. But, mate, I think they're a part of the sporting landscape. When I compare it to the way the Americans do the sport over there, and I can see why they're such an integral part of, I mean, America admittedly have got the population for one. I mean, we're talking about a country that gets 80,000 people to a spelling bee. So, I mean, I can see why they fit in there. I mean, you've got the big band, the marching band. It starts in college, and the cheerleaders are a real big part of that. I just don't know. For me, I think one of the teams, it might have been one of the Queensland teams, I forget who it was, or South. They had the drummers last year, and they're starting to sort of steer away from it a little bit, some of the clubs. And it's not the first thing that pops to my head when I go to a game of football.
Look,
but I do love the cheerleaders. Don't get me wrong, male, female. You guys do a great job.
I love them, but I've got to be careful when I'm looking at them, just in case somebody sees me. And I'm trying to behave myself, but the entertainment, the skill factor, absolutely gone through the roof. But look, I'm going to throw something up. I remember we used to, years ago, and I don't know if you remember, Donnie might be a bit young, we used to have the 100-metre sprint fastest player. And I think mix that in with the dancing. That's just something different as well. I don't know why I thought of that, but I thought, I loved that as a kid. I don't know.
I remember, I think it was the junior clubs. We used to have the cheerleaders out in the middle doing the halftime entertainment. Then around the outside, I think they used to have a 4x100 relay or something where you'd have a representative from all the junior clubs, whether it be St John Bosco or Engadine, or that's the local clubs where we are. But wherever they are, I think the more we can involve junior league on NRL Day, on the big stage, I think it's a good thing for the game.
Any career path, yeah. So what about you, Luke?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't even alive in those days, so I can't remember any of that. But, the Dallas Cowboy cheer girls, that's what I'm up for.
Hey.
There you go. That's what does spring to mind, when you think of when you think of cheer girls and cheerleaders and stuff. Nobody does it better than the Dallas Cowgirls. So shout out to you guys in the Cowboys over there in Dallas.
And have we had a look at the girls at the guys at Shark Park? You did some stuff out there, I believe. Scotty went out there on the weekend and got some beautiful footage. We might put that up now.
Yeah, well, it's something that the Sharks have done well for a number of years now. They have a dance spectacular, I think, once a year, and it involves, I think 30, 40, 50 of the local dance schools. And they say never to work with kids and animals, but whoever the choreographer is, you got, 1,800 kids out there all moving in time, and look at them, they're loving it. A good way to get way to pack the stadium out too, because all them kids are coming with a couple of parents that want to see them out there. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, and just just to talk to them when they were coming off, just congratulating them, their little faces were like, "Did you see me?" It's like it's just beautiful stuff. You can't beat that, can't buy that. No wonder the parents love having them go down there. Let's talk about relocation.
Yeah.
It's been a topic.
Well, Nick Politis was out in the media this week, came out as saying that, and this is controversy corner, and I might say some controversy. It wouldn't be the first time, but Nick Politis was saying, that all the Sydney clubs have got to stay and this and that, and then the hot topic at the moment is, relocate or as you would be familiar with, Luke St George merging or whatever. I mean, I'm a massive Sharks fan, and that's never going to change. So for me, if it came down to an ultimatum, or if we had to relocate or dissolve, I'm going to support the Sharks, whether they're in Perth, Gosford, whatever. And I said I might say something controversial. I hope they don't. But what I'm saying, in a not so perfect world, if we did have to move, mate, it's not going to affect my membership. I'm still going to be a supporter, and I'm still going to support the Sharks.
Yeah, look,
I'm not saying the Sharks are the team to relocate. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think if you've got $40 million, you hope that that's going to be spent wisely. You hope that that's going to maintain our longevity into the future. I would hate to. I don't know if I'd get my season ticket and go to Perth, Donny. That's going to be an issue. I think you
Luke, as a Saints tragic, how did you feel when the St George Illawarra Steelers merged?
Well, it was a bit of a shock, but when it comes down to money, that's just the way it goes. But we can't amalgamate again. We can't make it a three-way, so...
You're not getting us.
I think two's enough.
That's it.
While you're here, Luke, I want to send a big thank you to Luke. He's actually a great chef at Cooked & Co, and they're the supporters of our award that we're going to give out later for the tipping. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Hit the like, hit the share, invite your mates, leave us some comments. Adam Wingnut Smith has just joined the conversation. We've got Mark Williams, who says the Eagles are terrible. Scotty Page, Sammy Roberts has joined the conversation. Chris Wilson, the Stitch, has joined. So, boys, keep hitting the like and the share button. Matt Rogers has tuned in. We appreciate it. David Ninnis has joined in as well. So it's good.
We're getting around. Hit the
like, hit the share. Invite your mates.
One of your favourite topics, Donny.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. The old lorries.
Well, guys, I don't know if you've been tuned into our earlier episodes. What we're doing this year is we're looking for the NRL's most passionate supporter, and in honour of the late, great Laurie Nichols, who you would have seen up on the sidelines at Leichhardt doing his shadow boxing in his Phillips singlet. He was the most passionate supporter I can think of. So we're looking to involve all 16 clubs. And there was one guy, Philip Cross, who featured on some Souths media earlier in the week, and I saw it come across, and it was fantastically done by the Souths Club to involve their members. And this is the type of passion we're talking about. And you want to talk about a football jersey collection, take a look at this guy.
Beautiful.
Philip Cross.
They've done a great job on it, haven't they? They really have.
He has. He's got, I saw something like over 400 jerseys, and it all started through his father's passion for the club. And so if you get a chance to check that out, you Bunnies fans or just anyone that's a fan of football in general, just check out that membership media that the Souths have done, because I think they're really leading the way in that regard. It was a really touching, beautiful piece. And Philip Cross, we're looking for 15 more of you guys from each club. So if you know who the Laurie Nichols is at your club, make sure you tag him, let him know that we're looking for him. So we're looking for the passionate sport. You reckon you're in line for the Laurie there at St George?
Can you see him doing
Jesus.
He's pretty passionate.
Well, it is the naked punt. We might have to get him naked in St George. All right, we've got a gallery, I think, coming up shortly, and to some pictures on the gallery. Let's have a look at those pictures, Donny.
We want to make sure that you guys are connecting with us. So if you're on Instagram, make sure you send in your photos with the hashtag #TheNakedPunt, and you'll appear across our gallery. And I'm not sure if we've got some.
Oh, look at that.
That's my little boy. That's my little boy, Jesse.
You're looking at kept you up all night.
You're looking at the 2040 Cronulla Sharks captain right there, Jesse Rogers. And
that's good.
So just tag yourselves with the Naked Punt. You'll come across the feed. And
where's that fella?
That's a young Brett Maxworthy.
Little chunky camo. There you go. Out Sillabay.
Look at the size of the footy. There was no mini football.
Yeah, I scored on the 22, Donny. I forgot. Then I just had to go back and pick it up.
It was
I won't
carted
do
up,
that
son.
again.
Away you go.
Yeah. Oh,
There's
no
no
clothes. You had to get your top off, didn't you, Don?
Naked Punt. There you go. That's just a little teaser.
Enjoying it.
Get involved, guys. I'm actually clothed. I've got boxes on behind.
Yeah,
me.
right. Sure you have.
sure you do, mate.
That's it. Fantastic.
So
Look,
make sure you guys hit us on Instagram with the hashtag #TheNakedPunt, and we want to see your images come across. If you know anyone that's a mad, passionate fan, get them involved as well.
look, we might go to an ad break and we'll be back.
Welcome to the Naked Punt. My name's Luke Phillips. I'm a massive fan of the mighty Red V. My favourite athlete of all time would have to be Kelly Slater. What annoys me most are all the Sharky supporters around here. If I won the lotto, I'd burn the cafe down and have a holiday forever. Tune in next week. Go the Naked Punt.
Hi, and welcome back to the Naked Punt Sports Show. Young Don Rogers is going to be talking to us about the hot tippers of the week in our tipping comp.
Well, I think we're starting. Are we going to go through? Are we running through this week's games, or are we going to
do your hot tippers, mate?
Well,
It's going well.
Well, if you haven't joined, make sure you look for the link on our page. We have the Naked Punt Footy Tipping Bonanza. It's a competition. Cooked & Co., which is Luke's Cafe, has kindly donated a $50 voucher that goes out to each week's performer.
Get down there.
And this week, the $50 Cooked & Co. voucher goes out to, drum roll please, Dana Campbell from Cooked & Co. She got the perfect 10 in the round, but also picked the margin. So Dana Campbell, Cooked & Co.
Congratulations.
Well
Luke will
done,
serve you
Dana.
up.
Come and see me.
In addition to Dana Campbell, we've got there was a few other perfect rounds. So congratulations to you guys. Paul Hanley got the perfect 10. Jason, the J-Man Menwaring, also got the perfect 10. Ooh. Lucas Crombie, the perfect 10. And Tony Dale, the perfect 10. So that moves a couple of people into the top 8. Tony Dale and Jason Menwaring, you are now featured in the top 8. There's a new segment in the vein of Aussies loving to just bag their mates. There's a new segment we like to call the shit tipper.
So who the shit haircut and the shit tipper week? Well,
who's this week's shit tipper
The
is
shithead.
Boys. Andrew Sam Smith, you are this week's shit tipper, closely followed by
He's a Dragon supporter too, isn't he?
Closely followed by D. Rog and Rap City Funk. D. Rog is yours truly. I only got 3 this week, so I'll put my hand up. That was some shit tipping.
Shit tipper.
And Rap City Funk, that's actually Aaron Raper. And I want to question him when he comes back about that name. What is doing with Rap City Funk? He's going back to the mid-'80s thinking he's NWA with a big clock on or
You have
something.
to get him to dance and show us,
We're
Donny.
going to have to ask him about that. Change the name, Rapes. That's
good.
Terrible.
Look, we're going to run through next week's games,
Yeah.
and let's start with the Broncos Dragons. What are your thoughts, Donny?
Well, I'm going to my tipping thing here. I'm going to the NRL app where our tipping app's in, and I'm going to look at what I've tipped. The Broncos Dragons. I've tipped the Broncos in that one based on form. I think they're playing good. Saints aren't, so Broncos up there for me.
100%. Sad to say, he's going to have to go with the Broncos this week.
No, that's good. I'm a Bronco too. I think they're just looking too good. Raiders and the Knights.
I'm going to go with the Raiders there. I was a bit of I think it'll be a close game. I think it will be a really close game. Quinton Pongi is playing unreal at 5'8", and but I've gone the Raiders. Actually, no, I'm going to change it. I'm changing my tip.
What you can do here. Do it in live TV.
I'm changing it to the Knights. I'm going the Knights. Go the Knights.
What about yourself?
I've gone with the Raiders, but I was I'm in between.
Yeah, look, I don't know, but yeah, I went the Raiders. It's a must-win game for them. They've got to win. The Eels and the Roosters.
Eels and the Roosters. Well, I've tipped the Roosters there convincingly. I think they'll get up.
Right.
I've tipped also the Roosters, but you never know. Hopefully, the Eels in strong form, and we shall see.
Well, look, keepers back, friends back, and Roosters for me. The Sea Eagles and the Warriors.
I've gone with the Warriors. I just think they can roll the Eagles there. I think it's at Brookvale, so they'll
I think it's over there. They're going actually going over there for a special thing for the.
Oh, they are too. Yeah. They're Warriors at home, playing under emotion. I think Warriors for me.
Yeah, I think the Warriors will step back this week. They lost last week quite bad, so let's go Warriors.
And even though Tom's back at fullback this week, I just can't see the Seagulls doing anything much. Cowboys Sharks.
Cowboys Sharks. I've actually gone against my heart, and I'm going with the Cowboys up there. And that's the pick the margin. That's the pick the margin game. And I've actually gone Cowboys by 4. I hope I'm wrong.
I've actually gone the Sharks as much as I don't like it. With Tom Alalo out,
Yeah, Tom Alalo's out. I'm changing. I'm going to the Sharks.
You're right. I'm going the Sharks for sure. I think that we've got to show if we've got what it takes this year. This is the game to do it. Panthers and the Storm.
For me, it's the Storm. I think I had that discussion with my brother in the car earlier. The Storm are only going to drop 4 or 5 games all year. It's just knowing which ones they're going to drop, and it's just guesswork. And I think, like last year, they're going to probably play 10, 12, 15 games before they drop one, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely the Storm for me.
Look, I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Storm will beat them. Tigers Bulldogs.
That one for me is the Tigers. I think with Robbie Farah and Benji playing so well, and they look very cohesive. I like them. I think the Tigers.
Yeah, the boys have got some form. Let's go Tigers.
Look, the Bulldogs, it's their worst start since 1971, so you just can't tip them. You've got to go the Tigers. And we've surely, the Rabbitohs and the Titans.
Yeah, I'm with the Rabbits on that one. I think Sam and the Bunnies have come out of the burrow ferociously. If a bunny can come out of a burrow ferociously, I think they've done it well with their little teeth. They're gnawing away at their premiership.
Just so descriptive, Dave.
They're a ferocious bunny. Go the ferocious bunnies this week.
What about you?
After the way they served us up, we'll have to go the Rabbitohs, I think.
Yeah,
Titans
look, lay down Mazare, the Rabbitohs.
I've got, and just before we move on, I've got a couple of special shout-outs. I've got one of our little fans, Kira, who's the daughter of a mate of mine, Stitch. Shout out to you, Kira, who's watching. And Sammy Roberts down there in Canberra, as well as Sam Teresi says, go the Tigers. And Daniel Patoka has tuned in as well. So just giving you guys a shout out. Make sure you guys are hitting the like and the share. Robin Smith, that goes for you as well.
Look, Donnie, thank you. Great show. Lovely working
awesome
with you again.
Yep.
And thanks for coming in, Luke.
Thank you
we
very
couldn't have
much.
done it without you, brother.
Absolute pleasure, absolute honour. Can I give a shout out to my boys, Leroy and Joaquin?
There you go. Shout out to Leroy and Joaquin. As always, before we sign off, guys, make sure you are helping us grow towards that 2,000 mark. Thanks for everyone's support online. You have been fantastic. Go to the invite friends button and invite them along, and make sure you tune in next Wednesday, 8 p.m.
No worries. We look forward to your company next Wednesday. Bye for now.
Life's always better naked.